Arsenal may have won the game, but the real controversy happened in the stands. Some Mansfield fans crossed the line, and it left one of the hosts furious. Was it just football banter, or something that should never be said in 2026? Let's talk about what really happened on that trip.
And there was a Mansfield fan on there that said that our fans should be scared of Mansfield. That's what I did on Saturday.
They give us a game, though. They give us a game, very good game.
They gave us a game, Lee. Yeah, credit to them. But that is because we played in about fifth gear. And we started, and they done well with Jaden and Marley and Max, didn't we? Yeah. So that's why. But we didn't play that well. We should have smashed it. But yeah, well done to the humble ones, but to the arrogant ones. Like I said, and I'm sorry, I don't want to keep on going on, but I think it's very important.
No, you go on for as long as you want. No, I've got 20 minutes.
Thank you. Like I said to Cecil, in 2026, there are things that you cannot say to people. What they called me should not be in line. And any decent human with any sense of integrity should not be saying that. And I was not impressed. I can't even say what they called me.
The hosts introduced the Predicted 11 show and begin by talking about their recent trip to Mansfield. One of the hosts thanks the organizers for inviting him, but also shares disappointment with some Mansfield fans due to disrespectful comments made toward him. While he acknowledges that many Mansfield supporters were friendly, he criticizes the behavior of a few fans. They also discuss the match, giving credit to Mansfield for putting up a good fight, although they believe their team could have played better and won more comfortably. This segment ends with a discussion about a Mansfield player celebrating after scoring, which one host feels was unnecessary given the club's current level.
Eberechi is in a rich vein of form, and it didn't take him long to finish like he did on that pitch.
I think it's his time now.
It is his time.
For me.
You play for Mansfield, my friend. You play for Mansfield. You're in the football mud.
Big decisions are coming for Arsenal's lineup ahead of the huge European clash. Should Arteta go with his strongest team or rest key players again? And some surprising names are being pushed into the starting 11. This predicted lineup might shock a lot of fans.
Let's get on with it. Goalkeeper,
right,
David Rice. I thought Kepa done well again. He's done very well when he's come in.
And I thought as well, I don't know if you saw his post-match interview. He actually bigged up Jaden, Marley and Max, and the way he spoke was absolutely fantastically. I'm really impressed. Yep.
But David Rice in goal.
I'll let you do the honours because obviously you started.
Yeah, no worries. Do you think that he'll make changes or he'll go back to the strongest side on?
I think you go back to the strongest side. Because we were able to rest a lot of players, so that was good.
Okay, so Timber then coming, who wasn't able to be fully rested because he had to come on, and we needed him.
But I thought when he came on, once again, he done an absolutely fantastic job again.
Just showed his class,
Absolutely.
Just showed his class.
What I would say though, Lee, that the first team probably wins 10-0, but we need to rest players. That's what I think.
Yeah. So,
we'll
bring Gabriel back in first.
Of course.
Because we're not too sure.
About William. Yes.
Right, so we're going to bring in Gabriel there.
Yep.
The hosts move on from discussing the Mansfield match and begin focusing on their predicted 11 for the upcoming game in Germany. They expect the manager to return to a stronger starting lineup after resting some players in the previous match. They discuss key selections, including keeping David Raya in goal, bringing Gabriel back into defense, and possibly starting Timber if fit. They also debate midfield choices, with Declan Rice likely to start, while praising players who performed well recently, including Eberechi, who scored the winning goal. The conversation also touches on Martin Odegaard's injury, with reports suggesting it may not be serious. Injuries are starting to pile up for Arsenal, with Odegaard, Ben White, and others doubting Arteta might be forced into changes. Could this unexpected lineup actually decide Arsenal's Champions League hopes?
Gabriel there.
Yep.
And I think also Nketiah's got
of course.
I think he's been
when he came on again was absolutely...
We used to argue over that, not no more, he's straight in.
And the thing is, the tackle even though it's offside, the tackle he made...
He didn't know that was offside.
No, he didn't, but the thing is, the tackle, he's off the ground, but he won the ball clean. The player didn't even complain. That's how clean the tackle.
That's your mate.
Unbelievable. My mate used the I was even better, yes! Yes! Instant justice! Instant karma, yes! Brilliant! Oh,
Right. So, obviously, like, there has been a little slight injury to Saliba.
Yeah. Which you called well done again.
Which I called, yeah,
yes,
I called.
You did.
But would you bring him back in for this one?
I'll bring him back in if he's fit enough to play. I really would. If he's not...
if there's a slight doubt.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough, but, I don't think it's a great experiment.
I'm making you make the decision.
Well, if he's fit enough, which I hope he is, then. So because apparently it's not serious. So, we'll go with those two.
So we're going to go with the normal back four. Bit harsh on Mascara,
yeah,
but
I thought he did well.
We go there. I'm happy with that.
The hosts continue discussing their predicted lineup and squad options for the upcoming match. They talk about several injury concerns and unavailable players, including Martin Odegaard, Ben White, and others, while noting that the club has not provided clear updates. They debate the front three attacking options, agreeing on Victor and Gabriel, while suggesting Kai Havertz could come off the bench. The hosts also praise young player Max for his fearless performance after returning from injury. Overall, they highlight the team's squad depth and discuss possible substitutions and tactical flexibility depending on how the match develops. Eberechi is suddenly stealing the spotlight. But does that mean some big Arsenal stars should be dropped? The debate gets heated as the hosts predict the score, pick their first goal scorer, and make bold claims about who must step up if Arsenal want to win.
So there, could you see that happening or not?
No, absolutely. The way Max played, and the thing about it is that what makes it so special, you could say it's only Mansfield, and I'm not saying that, it's the fact that he's been injured for a while. The way he showed no fear and was just running on that mashed up pitch was absolutely fantastic. And he should have scored too. Yeah. And I'm not criticising it, but he got into such great and he kept on running. So he showed bravery and no fear. And Mikel was bigging him up and all that. Absolutely brilliant. I'm so impressed with Max because he shows no fear and he's so brave.
Yeah, I think that. I do think though we're going to put that there. I think Ebbs, I think that will be the team.
Listen, Ebbs is in the rich vein of form, isn't he?
To start, I think that Trossard.
Let's hope it's not too bad.
Let's hope it's not too bad. It could be more precautionary in there, but Champions League, and if that is.
The hosts continue discussing the lineup and expect Eberechi to start because of his excellent recent form, especially after scoring the winning goal against Mansfield. They believe Kai Havertz may come on as a substitute to gain more minutes, particularly since the upcoming match is against his former club. The hosts also talk about the importance of key attacking players returning to their best form if the team wants to succeed. They predict a difficult match, but expect Arsenal to win, with score predictions around 2-1 or 2-0. They also guess possible first goal scorers, mentioning players like Saka and Gabriel. The video ends with casual conversation, well wishes to traveling fans, and a message celebrating International Women's Day before closing the show. Honestly, I think this part exposes something that football fans don't like to admit. Yes, some Mansfield fans clearly crossed the line with their comments. And that kind of behavior should never be accepted in football. But at the same time, the reaction from the hosts also shows a bit of big club arrogance. Acting like a Mansfield player has no right to celebrate or shush just because he plays for a smaller club feels wrong to me. Football is about emotion and passion, whether you play in the Premier League or lower divisions. If anything, moments like that prove why smaller clubs love these games. They get a rare chance to challenge bigger teams, and when they score, of course they're going to celebrate. Expecting them to stay quiet just because they're a smaller club is unrealistic. For me, the real issue isn't the celebration, it's the disrespect from fans. Football rivalry and banter are fine, but crossing into personal insults is where the line should be drawn. For me, this part shows a big problem with how Arsenal fans sometimes look at squad decisions. Everyone always says, play the strongest 11, but then complains later when players get injured or burned out. In my opinion, This is exactly the type of game where Arteta should rotate more, even if some fans don't like it. Declan Rice is a world-class player, but does he really need to start every single game? Probably not. Arsenal have good squad depth, and if players like Ease or others are performing well, they deserve real chances in big matches, not just 10-minute cameos. That's how top teams build confidence across the whole squad. Also, the conversation about Odegaard's injury shows how secretive Arsenal can be with fitness updates. And while that might be smart strategically, it also creates uncertainty about how prepared the team really is. If Arsenal want to compete seriously in Europe, they can't rely on the same core players every time. Smart rotation could be the difference between winning trophies and collapsing late in the season. Here's where things get really spicy. Arsenal fans love debating who should start, but the truth is we're overthinking it. Injuries, suspensions, and minor niggles are being treated like career-ending disasters. But really, this is where Arteta's squad depth should shine. Yes, Odegaard might be out for the cup final. Ben White is missing, and Trossard is a doubt. But instead of panicking, Arsenal should embrace the chaos. Give players like Kai Havertz, Max, or even Ebra a proper run. The obsession with always starting the so-called best 11 is holding the team back. And let's be honest, some fans act like substitutes are just for warming the bench. Max's performance shows that these backup players can actually be game changers. If Arsenal want to win the Champions League or domestic cups, they need to stop being afraid to rotate. Playing it safe is exactly how teams crumble in knockout football. Frankly, if Arteta doesn't shake things up and trust these players, the fans' obsession with star names could end up costing trophies. It's time to stop being predictable. Here's where I'm going to ruffle some feathers. Arsenal fans are too sentimental with their lineups. Yes, Eberesh is in form, and Kai has history with the club, but clinging to the feel-good story over tactical sense can backfire in big games. Just because a player scored last week doesn't mean they automatically deserve a starting spot in a knockout clash. And let's talk about the front three debate. Everyone is obsessed with the old guard, Saka, Gabriel Jesus, and Victor. But what about injecting unpredictability? Max, Kai, or even Leandro coming off the bench could change the entire game. Arteta can't just hand out minutes based on past glory. Knockout stages reward bold decisions, not nostalgia. Also, fans talking about a draw versus a win? Stop being timid. Arsenal has the squad depth to dominate if they take calculated risks and rotate intelligently. Clinging to safety is what makes teams like this slip up when it matters most. Bottom line, if Arsenal keeps playing it safe and sentimental, we'll always be predictable and easier to beat in Europe. It's time to reward form and courage over history and sentiment.